Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Long Pamai, and in this short video, I'll demonstrate how to add undo or a Ctrl Z feature to your VBA project without the help of any third-party software. If anyone is interested, I'll also share my VBA undo program, which I created years ago, which can be used for workbooks as well as for the add-in projects. So before we begin, if you haven't, please do not forget to subscribe for latest updates and also to support my channel. As we all know, the changes that are done using VBA cannot be easily undone. However, there are a few ways to achieve this. If you work with a critical data set, I would suggest to back up relevant data set, maybe in the flat file database, or even make a copy using file copy method. Or else you can also use undo method, which I'll be demonstrating in this video. The way to achieve this will be to store or backup the data or save the current state of an object or like data set or range, and then when Ctrl Z is pressed or undo, we can trigger a custom reverse code or undo code to bring back the data to original area or to a range. So let me give a quick demonstration. These are some of the dummy data set that I put together for demonstration. First, let's take a look at an example or scenario where you want to prevent user from making changes to a certain range. Let's say they punch in something, you want to automatically undo that changes. So for that, you can have, we already did lots of class object, but for this demonstration, we'll just use a very simple one. So demo1 sheet. So demo1, let's say that we'll use the event worksheet change. Okay, whenever value change, we want to check if certain area is being updated, and then we will prevent that from happening. So in this scenario, this is selection.address. So from here to here, if any changes is done, we want to prevent that from happening. So here I'll say if not intersect and then here we will pass our target, which is the parameter here, and then our range. So we specifically want to track this range. If not intersect, this is nothing. So basically we're saying if the changes is made to this range, then we want to maybe just give a feedback. Please do not update this range. Okay, click OK to undo or something like that. And at the moment, if I run this code, if I type in something, it will tell me, but it does not undo. Okay, so we can put here application dot or we can do with application and here we want to first turn off the events and turn on the event back so that this continue to work. And here I'll say undo. Okay, so whatever changes is done will be undone. The most recent change will be undone, basically what this is doing. Okay, so now if I go in here and put 1,000 here, it says please not update this range, click OK to undo. So as soon as I click OK, this 1,000 will go back to the previous number. Yeah, okay, so this is one way to use the undo method. Now we'll take one step further. So if you want only to be a specific range or and so on, you can do that. You can also use this method to pass on additional parameters, which we will just discuss now. Okay, So for this, I'll insert a new module. This is the module I'll share later on. This is the code I've written, which is a bit more advanced and reusable for many other purposes. But this demonstration will help you to understand the code itself and how I approached the undo method. By the way, there are other undo method by John Peters. So I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, but please be sure to check his undo function as well. That uses a class method. But this one is a very simple undo method that I've written, so feel free to check mine as well. Okay, now here, the way I do this is first I back it up, whatever range I want to restore back, and then I call that method when the Ctrl Z is pressed. Okay, so let me just get rid of this. Okay, so let's say that we are gonna write a macro. Let me just I'll just record a macro. Let's say I want to write a macro which is gonna copy this area and paste it here as values in number format like this. Okay, and then I'll do escape. And now let's say that I want to do a Ctrl Z of whatever action was done. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to back up the area, the data set that I think needs to be backed up in case, you know, like something is unsuccessful or user needs to reverse back. So first I'm going to back up the data. Okay, so this is the backup data. I'll quickly generate this code, copy this data, and then I'm gonna go and paste in the exact range from where, you know, like I want to back up from. And then for now I'll just go here and paste it like this. Okay, so this is the data set that I want to reverse back later. Now let's take a quick look at this code. So this backup data is basically select the range, copy, and then goes and paste the data there. Yeah. Now, a couple of things we want to back up or keep track of will be, in case you have to back up in another file, you probably will track the workbook, worksheet, name, and then the range. So for now, we'll just keep it simple. Let's say public, and then this will be memory range address, something like that, as string, and then we want this to be memory sheet name. Okay, so when the backup is being run, we want to backup, we want to save this as well. So let's call this, instead of backup data, we'll say save current state or something like that. And then here we can get our, let's say, as range. And then instead of hard coding this, we will just try whatever range was supposed to be saved. Okay, so I'm gonna remove this. And first off, we will want to save the sheet name so that it does not randomly back up somewhere and overwrite, you know, other data. So for now, I'll just say active sheet.name, and then for the range address, we will just say rx dot address. Okay, so this data will be stored here, and then later on they click undo or Ctrl Z, then it will find where it needs to back up. Yeah, so this is the first part. Now we already have the range, so this part will be just copy this range, and then for now I'm just taking this particular sheet as the place where the backup will always happen. But when we go into this one, I'll explain how it works there. But the way it works is very similar. Okay, so now it copies the data, come to the backup sheet, and then it's gonna um, it's going to select that range. Instead of select, I'll just say directly paste there as number. If you want to back up the formula, if you want to back up the like the theme and everything, then you will just do, like paste everything. Okay. So for now, we'll paste in this range. And then when we have to back up, we will refer to this range to copy back from. And then we will go back and paste in the exact same range. So this is one quick way to back up whatever needs to be reversed at a later stage. Okay, now let's say that this is our micro, or let's say this is to do some important calculation. Let's call this test one. And we'll first of all, we want to back up the data. So if I think it's good to change this to function so that we can reuse from any bypassing these parameters. So if it goes down till here, then everything is good. Else, if it errors, then we want this to be false. And then here we want to exit function. Okay. And we'll say that on error, go to. So this part basically copies, save this into the memory here so that we can reuse later. Again, if the file crashes or like other regions that can happen, then you can take that judgment. The data set better and the requirements, so you keep those things into consideration. Okay, now coming back, we'll say if here we want to pass the range that we want to back up. So let's say that we want to back up from here till here. So I'll say backup range this. Okay, so if backing up this data range is successful, then we want to continue this part of the code. So come back and select sheet 1, and then now we can copy this H2 till K, and then K7, and then we're going to paste it in here. Yeah. And now comes the part where we want to tag what we want to undo. Okay, so let's say that application dot undo, and then here you will specify on undo. Here you will specify for example, normally when you have something, you can specify the wordings that will mean what action needs to be undone. So that is the tagging here. Let's say VBA copy paste. We'll say undo VBA copy paste. And here you can specify what code to run when they do Ctrl Z. Okay, so I'll just say this is the code to save. We need the code to reverse as well. So I'll just reverse code, something like that. Okay, now we will quickly create one more code to reverse. So I'll quickly record again. Backup, go to this, copy this data set, come back to the sheet, and paste it here as values and number format. Yeah, and then escape, stop the recording. Now we are going to call this code as reverse code. And this reverse code is going to go to backup. Instead of referring to this static range, it's going to get this range address. And then basically it's going to copy that range. And it will come back to the sheet where it needs to do a backup. So I'll remove all the static data set. And here we will select this range. You can select activate whatever you want. We will select, we'll paste data here. Okay, so basically this will be our reverse code. Whatever backup, whatever data was backed up earlier, it will go refer to that range, copy the data, come back, and then it's gonna paste in that area. So let's give it a try. Test run 1. Let me make this a bit smaller so we can see it side by side. Okay, so I'm gonna run this. So it passed the range. It's here now. The sheet name is sheet 1, and then here is the range that we want to back up. That was passed from here, and it's gonna copy this, and now it's gonna go here and paste it there. Okay, and then exits up. No, this part is true, so it's gonna do that action here. It's gonna copy this data and paste it here. Yeah, and then clears the clipboard, and then it just stores this setting here. Now, if we go here, we'll see VBA copy paste undo. Okay, there's a typo, but undo VBA copy paste. Yeah, so when I click on this or do a Ctrl Z, it's gonna run this code. Okay, so I'm gonna do Ctrl Z, and now it's gonna go back to this particular sheet, copy that range. This part is not visible. The screen is not reflecting, but basically it's going back, and then it pastes the data set again. Okay, so basically that is all what is going on here. In this method, as far as I know, you can only add one undo, and then when that is executed, if there are other Excel undo which are there, for example, whatever action that you take here keeps, like you have lots of undo that is possible. But once you execute this code, all those will be gone. So just keep track of those as well. Just be aware of those. Okay, so that's pretty much what I want to demonstrate in this short video. But here is the code. If you find this tutorial useful, it'll be really helpful if you can give a thumbs up, like, and share as well. And yep, this code, let me give a quick walkthrough and demonstrate this as well. So first, the way to use this code is very, very simple. For example, here is, here are the formulas. So let's say that you want to back up a data set, and then you want to bring back everything, including the formatting, including the formulas, and so on. So you can use this code that I've written here. You can also create yours. That's why I was giving a demonstration here that you can, modify as per your requirement, as well as you might have a better way of doing it. So that's why this walkthrough. Yeah. Now coming to this custom code that I've written, quickly, whatever function is here, the main ones, I'll give a quick walkthrough. Yeah. So first is to save the current state. Yeah. And then store for undo. It will store for undo will be here. Basically what it is doing is it's creating a workbook. And then after creating a workbook, it hides that workbook. Okay, so that it's not visible. That is more for user experience. You can keep it visible. That is fine. So this part is doing that. And it gives, basically it tags, give a tag to that particular workbook so that we know that is for that specific purpose. So hence this do tagging is done. Okay, and then here's the memory workbook, and then we have the sheet, and then we have this particular setting as well to save the address, and then the type. Basically we can save three things here. You can save just the format, you can reverse the format, you can do values and number format, or you can do everything. Okay, you can undo everything. So that is three things you can pass. Yep, you can download and play around. couple of things I want to point out here is so it's gonna create a back like a new workbook, and then it's gonna save the name of the sheet as well as the exact name of the sheet you're gonna do a backup, and then it's gonna save the same range, and then so that the code will never be confused as to where to go and get the data for backup. And then irrespective of the workbook you're currently in, even when you hit the backup or Ctrl Z, it's gonna go identify the workbook, the range, and then do a backup there. So that's basically what this particular function will do. So yep, um, the main things are undo backup from this is the reverse, undo prior action. Uh, this is basically tagging part, and then undo prior action will be the actual code that runs to back up the data. This is a longer version of what we have basically just done. Okay, and then store for undo. This part is where it checks if there is a workbook available for to store the undo version of it, and then if not, it will automatically take care of all this by itself. The only thing is if you want to update this tagging as per your need, you can do that. Otherwise, you can directly use this as it is. Okay, so let me quickly give a short demo, and then we will end the call. Sorry, we will end this video. Okay, so first, here are the formulas and everything. So I'll quickly demonstrate this. Here I'm saying turn off the display alerts just because um, the workbook will be created on runtime, and then the new sheets and deleting and all these things are going to happen. So that's why. And then this part is backup, current state, and here you can just, if you don't pass the range to backup, it will automatically just save that selection only. So selection could be one cell, it could be more than one cell. Yeah. Now, if I run this code, basically what is going on is in particular this particular sheet, is selecting this, copying and pasting it here. Yeah. And then it just does this tagging, the one we did application dot on undo, and then it just is this. And when we press this, it's gonna undo that part. Let me do it here so that we can also see that it will undo the formulas as well. Okay, so instead of that, I'll do sheet 2. 2 is demo 1 sheet, yeah. Oh, sorry, demo 2 should be sheet 1, which is this, yeah, demo 2. And we want to copy h1 h2 till 7, for example, and we want to specify the range to backup. So I'll do a2 till f. I'm saying I want to back up this data. It's the f12, yeah. So it will first back up this data set, and then it's gonna run this, basically copy this data and paste it here. And then when we undo, it's gonna bring back everything, including the formulas. That's what I want to demonstrate. Okay, I'm gonna run this code. Yeah, so it copied and pasted here. Yeah. Okay, we just did a backup of from A2, so it will bring back from here. Yeah, till here. So if I go here and that this, then here, as you can see, it bring back everything. If I copy, sorry, I bring back the headers like this, and this should be pasted to A2, not A1. So here, if I rerun this now, okay, so everything is in values. Now I do undo, it brings back everything. Yeah. This will work even if you have the mapping, for example, other workbooks, the linkage. I'm gonna rerun this, yeah, and undo, so it brings back everything. it works that fashion as well. Um, okay. Now the other thing is, in case you want to just backup. This is basically what I already demonstrated, so I'm not going to run this code now. But this particular code, let's say that you want to simply backup the format. So in this example, if I put a 1 here, it's gonna backup this range. Okay, that will be my range. Else, if I put 2, the range will be specifically somewhere here. So you can, the demonstration is basically you can backup any range like that. It doesn't have to be a bulk range like that. This is just a dynamic construction of range for demonstration. And here sets the display alerts to off and then stores the data. Yeah. And then it just colors, it just changes the color to green, and then on undo it will bring back those. So let me demonstrate that first. So first will be 1. Yeah, so it just put a random color here for this range. Now if I go here and undo, it'll undo all this formatting. Now if I do a 2 here and run this, put a color here, yeah, and if I undo, it'll bring back this. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Feel free to download this and play around. Um, I'll probably upload this or make this ID available for download tomorrow. So just watch out for that. And again, if you find this useful, please do not forget to share them with your friends and your colleagues. And also, please do not forget to leave a like and comment as well if you found them useful. So thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye bye.